game now. Giants, Vitality, who takes it? Let's find out.
As we get on to the Rift, Giants, can they repeat game 2 again?
That's always a tall order. Giants, they definitely looked like the better team. Game 1, there was a lot of back and forth. They got the snowball, and then they got shut out, only to turn it right back around again. Game 2, they were on par for an avalanche. But Vitality, they've got a chance here. Let's see if they take it.
Vitality, they know their bot lane in trades might get a little battered and bruised by this Caitlyn and the Nami. You can see AOD.
Yeah, elected for the coin start.
Elected for coin. Now, one of those things is that obviously you get a lot of passive gold coming from it. Allows you to move very quickly as well, ward come back and all that kind of thing. Wonder whether it'll actually build fully into the talisman.
Yeah, I have to keep track of it throughout the game. I mean, they've already got a Karma speed boost from Inspire. They can get an extra one on top of it. And this is a team that their team fights are definitely not going to be too shabby. Once we get into the later stages of the game, that Cassiopeia carries a lot of power. The Shen can be delivered into the fights. And, you know, we've seen what this jungle Gragas once again can do. For Giants' side, they have a lot of damage as well. Starting out with those Raptors. Cabochard helping out Joko. It's jungle buddy system all the way around with Memento and Knight on the opposite side.
Rengar against the Raptors can clear him, but does end up dropping a little lower than somebody like a Gragas will off the first one. You can see that Memento's already got his level 2. Joko just gets it, now heading up to red. Will it be the same thing for Joko? Will he ward? There is already a ward in the river.
Will somebody ward? The answer is definitely yes. EQ and Hustlin, we'll see as they trade down on the bottom side. They have wards spotting each other in their own brushes. Hustlin's been the one who's been taking the most poke, but EQ has got a headshot loaded up. Looking for steal back with it as the trades continue. There it goes.
It's a very different lane now. Giants have themselves the sustain advantage in bot lane. You can see Memento has not gone aggressive through the jungle. Has, in fact, opted for his own Krugs.
Yeah, it doesn't always work, right? Joko's going to have a much safer blue buff take this time around, even though the ward's expired in the river. Much better game.
So he's going Krugs into recall and then heading up through his topside jungle, so much less aggressive. You can see Joko didn't actually place a ward in the river, but has dragged his camp further away. Trying to make sure he doesn't get caught out this time.
He's playing it safe. You learn, you really only make mistakes like that once, it seems. Back in the bottom lane, Hustlin he's taken pretty low, but the Nami sustain's not something you can really underestimate. But let's keep an eye on Memento here. He's on his wolf camp, but he was pinging, or somebody was pinging rather, up towards Riverside. Don't think Cabochard's in a whole lot of danger this time around. Not only is he on Shen, but he's pushed in, so would not be surprised if Giants select not for a dive.
Yeah, they were pinging around the Rift Scuttler outside the Baron pit, so we'll see whether that's where Memento goes next. Nami hasn't exactly had the most successful return.
2 of those games were AOD. But yeah, Nami has definitely been one of the champions that has had a lot more trouble because it has been pick when supports have just been banned out so heavily, right?
Yeah, that's very true. You've seen a lot of Nami into Jhin as well, because the way that you can push the Jhin out of his ultimate. So it's not necessarily a comment so much on Nami's success as to more of why we've seen Nami picked more often. Joko's slower on the recall here, so with Giants coming top lane, Memento's just going to walk right in. Cabo so low!
He gets the taunt, and that's first blood. Flax is just tanking tower shots. Memento, oh, he only had to show a couple of seconds of presence. That's a big pickup for Giants top laner to start things off.
Yeah, and Cabo had been trading so heavily with Flaxish by the looks of things that he was just low in lane. You can see how far ahead Flaxish was. Now you put a kill on top of that. It's a Renekton lane top side. I mean, Giants going to try and utilize Flaxish once again.
Yeah, that's teleport burn now. Cabochard still on level 4. If Flaxish gets 6, this is a chance for Giants to open up and make a big play. Maybe on the bottom side, if they can get a flank TP, we might see a party down there. But Memento already focusing top side. AOD low on mana, still punishing Hustlin. EQ not deterred here as he's able to go toe-to-toe with Steelback. This has been the even lane, of course. Mid lane's been very quiet, but that might change as well because you can see Memento hovering around.
And Giants just pushing forward in the lane, trying to get a trade on. trying to equalize some of the push pressure that's coming out
forward
of Ash and Karma. Nuktuk is forward.
He's got 5 too.
He's got Joko on the bottom side here, so it's fairly safe. Yeah. Memento did recall. Stealing away those Raptors.
Yeah, this time it's time for Joko to get some revenge, get the Raptor steal off himself. Hustlin's actually moving up here. He's going to spot them on the ward. Gets the plant out. And Joko's going to have to spend his smite. Doesn't get all the Raptors, all but one, in fact.
Yeah, just slowing down the next respawn. Of course, Raptors does have a long respawn cooldown. So it's difficult to continuously camp them like you used to in seasons gone by.
This is a nice change for Vitality, though. They're getting inside the jungle of Giants early on and placing some deep vision. They haven't spotted Memento, but they know now that he's arrived.
Yeah, here's the use of that coin. You built up a lot in lane. You can roam out a little bit, come back, and it's all right. Less reliant on that harass, but AOD is going to return back down.
Yeah, no trouble for them either.
Steelback's level 5 now. When he hits that level 6 mark, will we see them go aggressive?
So when we start to open things up, see how different this game can be. Vitality kind of got a new lease on life with it, and you know, when your back is against the wall, looks like they're playing it out very cautiously, but I guess that's kind of what you have to do. Cabochard already gave up that first blood, and he's going to have to give up a lot more farm if he doesn't want to lose any more kills. Cloud Dragon on the map this time around, so it's not a race for the Drake. Still, slim lead built up for Giants. I say slim, it's about 1,000.
It's a decent lead for now. Giants with their farm advantage topside, and we kill they got already. Joko's been spotted on his way in. There's a flash coming out.
Oh, and the heal.
And
wow. He just had to walk down there, and they burned both the ADC summoners.
Yeah, all of that was because AOD in lane flashed, and I would imagine put W down onto Hikyu. Didn't want to get caught out by that root and then get body slam flashed, but of course that was just off screen on the bottom side.
Yeah, Hikyu and Hustlin forced a little under tower, so 2 summoners traded for 1 with the jungler's assistance. Joko's getting his counter jungle on, but the same's being done by Memento up towards topside. It looks like he might be focused in bullying, but wait, there's going to be more as Joko's caught on a bubble. Red buff assisting. Meanwhile, in mid, Knight gets grounded.
Level 6 topside from Memento. Ooh. Memento's coming in.
He's in Viz, and Cabochard's got to know something is up. The taunt's on, but the slice. Flaxish. Oh, the flash! And now it's Flaxish who's tanking too much damage. Dominus is on, otherwise he'd be a dead man. And Joko's looking to come down bottom, throws the barrel.
He's only level 5. He's only level 5 for now, but remember there's no summoners on Hikyu, so if he connects with a body slam flash, it might be enough, and that's why Hikyu and Hustlin are giving a lot of respect over on this bottom side to Vitality.
Nuktuk was looking to make a play as well. Ends up being no kills traded, but Vitality, they get a lot of pressure on this bottom turret. Down below half health as Hustlin and Hikyu come back to finish the minion wave.
It was well played by Cabo in that 1 versus 2. Recognized Rengar was coming, obviously then when Rengar's under tower, you know he's there.
Taunt away, flash juke, yeah, that was nicely done.
So he also held the taunt until some of the initial damage had been blocked by the Twilight Shroud, then jumps out, flashes back under tower. Nice little play.
Yeah.
Get to see those glimpses of Cabo, where in splits gone by, we were rating him among the top laners.
Yeah, we talk about his carry potential, but it was also just general mechanical outplays. I mean, this is the guy that was doing all sorts of flashy stuff. We saw him play the Lucian top lane when it was in fashion to play Graves up top. He's like, okay, I've got a better AD carry than you do. But he also just generally did well on these champions. It's nice to see him capturing a little bit of that back, especially in a matchup that you're going to have a hard time with no matter what.
And then other people tried playing the Lucian. Here's
Didn't work so well.
Huni. Not
Huni
the greatest.
tried a lot of stuff.
He's doing great now, so
oh yeah, good for him.
Nobody even is remembering those Lucian games.
I'm impressed that they got Huni to play tanks, in all honesty. That's still taking me for a spin.
I mean, let's be honest, if SK Telecom come to any player and say, we want you to play for us, but you've only got to play like this, I think most players are just like, give me the pen, where's the pen? Just let me sign the pen. Like, Season 4 World Champions, yeah, let's go. Not Season 4. I was going to say fourth World
every other season, but
exactly, I picked the wrong one.
It's okay. It's been a long series already, Stress. I think you can be forgiven. Meanwhile, Knight tanked an ultimate out of Nuktuk, but as he got cleansed out after the fact, he was able to get away from harm. And now Memento finding it hard to contest. Knight's a little bit low here. He's only got flash. In comes Gragas, and Knight gets blown to bits by Joko.
Easy play on mid lane. This is the problem that we've seen up until this week for Knight. We've been saying he's been picked off a whole lot. Knight hasn't looked as really solid as we saw in Summer Split, and this is an unfortunate turn of events for him now. He's on this rise that has been banned away from him, and now he's getting focused out by Vitality. Vitality are going to try and come down to the bottom lane. They do still have that explosive cask available. They didn't use it to kill Knight.
Choco, AOD, steal back all here, and now
they don't
Giants,
even need
have
to
to
use
know.
anything.
There's a teleport flank, though. Hold on a minute. Giants hold the phone. Out of the brushes is coming a Croc, but that's going to be a flash. Cabochard has the shield on. They can turn this one around. Joko is found by Memento, and he gives them some claws. Sunk in, no tower taken, but it's a kill for Giants, and now they've all arrived down bottom.
Vitality did not use the Ash Arrow, but used a lot of summoners to get themselves out. And actually, Giants hold the turret. If Giants can get somebody up to the top lane quickly, they can take that tower down and actually get tower first blood themselves. That's what they're doing on the map. You can see, look, Hikyu's going up there. There was a ping on the bottom tower from Vitality, trying to race for that tower first blood.
That's a good old Swiffy swap, and Vitality, they're still sending their duo down to the bottom. It's going to be a race now for this. Nuke Duck clearing away minions in the mid, but man, this is tense.
That Cloud Drake would have gone so well if one team had got it by now.
Ah, the most important Drake in the early game was actually the Cloud.
It's like watching, like, you know, sports day, the egg and spoon race. Hikyu's trying to push up, carrying that.
Yeah, but this is the pressure now. Giants are looking to make it happen, but you can already see Vitality are closer to getting this tower down bottom,
Vitality.
and they only need a stiff breeze to knock it over.
Yeah, Vitality.
Can they do it?
They're going to get it. Vitality are going to get it on the bot side. Hikyu couldn't push up fast enough.
Oh, there it goes. Tower first blood. Vitality have the gold advantage despite being down kills, so they win the race.
Who even needs the Olympics? We got this. We got the foot race to first tower blood.
That's definitely an exciting event.
That was riveting.
Knight gets nailed by the arrow. In goes Nuke Duck. No, this is slow. The Realm Warp. Is he going to make it out? I don't think so. You can't trust in the portal every time. And Knight goes down again.
Yeah, Vitality. This is a much better early game. They are still slightly behind because of some of the advantages that were built up from that first blood from the top lane as well. But Vitality, you consider that the first run of game 2, they were so far behind. What was it, 5,000 gold?
It was a massive
10
disadvantage.
minutes.
This has been such a relief for this team to get back on their feet, to be 13 minutes into this game and honestly 500 gold behind. When you also get first tower blood, that's nothing. Joko's honestly not been set far back. He plays on this Gragas now, and he hasn't been invaded nearly as much. He's been matching pace with Memento.
Yeah.
And it's just great to try and build off of this. For Giants' side, they're trying to recapture it a little bit, but you're not going to be able to snowball this game nearly as effectively. They may want to play it for the late game. They've got a Ryze, they've got a Caitlyn. If this game goes 35 minutes plus, that's going to be a lot of power to contend with.
Memento and Knight are no ultimate right now. They were pinging on Nuke Duck in the bottom lane, but his tower does still stand behind him, so yeah, it's not an easy pickoff. And Vitality still a little under pressure here. You can see that Nuke Duck's having a lot better game than than the first game. Nuke Duck did catch a couple of big shockwaves, but hasn't been quite so successful. Actually, he's going to aggro the dragon, just checking.
Not something Vitality have focused on a lot. Just about every dragon in this entire series, remakes or not, have gone Giants' way. Let's see if that continues. There's a lot of deep wards here, though, for Vitality in the Giants' jungle. They placed them some time ago, especially that control ward down there, and it just hasn't been spotted by Giants. It's meant that they have more or less a good idea of when Giants are down on that side of the map, pinging in the mid, actually, and now they're clearing out vision around the Dragon Pit itself.
I want to see more of this Memento and Knight squad, where they're just going around, jumping people, getting the Rengar ultimate down.
Seems like they might have run out of steam, too. I mean, that's something you don't often consider. Like, when you're that far ahead and then the remake does happen, how much does that really get into the minds of the players that were on the up and up?
I mean, especially, you look at the lead Memento had, specifically. It was, I mean, he was basically arms crossed, like, this game's done, I set this up, everything is going our way. And then the remake happens.
Can't quite always rely on getting the big snowball. He did get a big kill for himself, and he made some plays up towards the top side, but The second time around, Cabochard said, that's not going to happen. And they were able to really stop it. Here comes the Ash Arrow. We didn't follow it quite in time. There was a flash away from Hustlin.
Yep. Looks like just managed to avoid it, but Memento has been farming up a storm in this game. 111 CS to 48.
That's true. Joko just hasn't been able to do the same. But what Vitality are able to get now is they forced Giants to push and defend against their tower push. They get themselves a dragon. Can they live? Here comes the Shen Shield. Wave is dodged by Nuke Duck. He just surfs around it. Now Hustlin might be caught. The bubble. Oh, Joko's going to go over. They're going to grab a kill off of this one. It goes the way of Steelback, his second of the game. And now Vitality are looking to push mid for good.
Hustlin couldn't get out in time. Flaxish couldn't get into the fight in time. And now Vitality are pushing onto this mid tower. A complete turn of fortune, a twist of fate in this series. Oh, Flaxish!
He goes in. It's Cabochard. They take down Knight. It's Steelback on his third kill now. He's getting a whole lot of gold in his pocket, and they're going to get themselves a tower in the mid. Vitality, how much better can you get?
Vitality now have the lead on this game. They've been doing a lot better around objectives this game, rushing down that first tower in the race. They've really focused Knight out. We've talked about before how Nuke Duck does well in his lane on his own, but now that they've brought Joko into the mid lane a couple of times, the rest of the team with him, Steelback has been firing off those arrows and catching people out. Giants are struggling with Knight on this rise.
They're having some trouble. Vitality seems to be finding all the pressure points that they can press on Giants' side, and they're even managing to get some oft-lost objectives. That dragon they took, that was the first they've gotten in 6 games, and that is honestly quite impressive in one way. Let's take a look at this play again, though.
That is impressive. But Knight was grounded, can't get off the miasma. And Vitality take the kill, take the tower, and take the lead.
Pressure advantage to them. They have vision down on the bottom side. Nuke Duck is getting his split push on. Cabochard, he can just taunt away and stay alive here. Vitality, they have all the chances to keep on extending this out. Okay, that was pretty cool.
I don't think it was all that intended out of Memento, but he jumps back.
Blast clones are a really fun mechanic.
Until you misclick and kill the team.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah, I've tilted a few solo queue teammates for sure.
And me.
Yes. That was deliberate, though.
Yeah, I know, right? That's,
but Memento has some fun for himself. He just rides the bounce and gets himself the ward vision cleared up. Still, they haven't gotten every vision cleared away. Vitality have eyes on a lot of sides of the map. But you can see the Giants are not lacking for it either. They have quite a lot in the top side of Vitality's jungle. 2 minutes until Baron Nashor's going to hit the Rift. And, you know, in game 1, it was a big thing for Giants. It was a big thing for Vitality, too. That was how they started to turn their game around. Wouldn't expect it to be any different here. Yeah,
and Giants, you can see from the control wards bot side, they're trying to eliminate the chances of Joko sneaking around into that mid lane whenever they're on the defensive standpoint. Trying to catch any kind of pathways that Vitality will use to get behind either mid or bot tower.
Memento wants to go hunting. Looking for a new pair of snakeskin boots, it looks like. Let's see if they can bait him away. Nuke Duck is spotted. Memento has not moved. He's backing away.
Yeah, he's just hanging around. Didn't really feel confident. They didn't have full vision on where everybody was, but you can see Joko and AOD now. As this two-man squad. Joko didn't have flash.
There's the wave. Joko's still on. Here's the Realm Warp. Ash Arrow is not going to connect, but it won't matter. Hustlin is isolated from the team. Knight's around the wall trying to answer back, but it's not enough. Even with Gromp's help, Vitality are still able to clean up Giants there. And now Nuke Duck's pushing top.
Hustlin didn't read the play in time. Knight was like, come on, take the portal out. It's over the wall. You can get it, right? And Hustlin's like, oh, I'm late. I'm late to the portal.
Should have hustled a little harder. Unfortunately, Vitality, they're going to grab themselves that last outer. They're looking great right now on this map. It's 20 minutes in, and they're building the advantages up. It's 2,500 for them.
Yeah, they have a real good advantage for themselves. The only thing for Giants that truly is going their way is Flaxish over in that side lane has pushed out Cabo, but Cabo's getting to a point where he doesn't really have to worry too much as we are about to cross that 20-minute mark. Vitality are waiting.
We've seen such a marked shift in how these teams have chosen to make plays.
Yeah.
Giants have been gun-shy this game.
I think the problem is you can't excuse Giants' mentality of, okay, well, I guess we did it in the remade game, like we can punish them, but the opportunities haven't necessarily presented themselves in this game. You can't really take away how much of a lead Giants had and how that's got to play into mentality to now have to go back into the game that you thought you'd already won. You thought this series was done, the seal was on it, you had your 2-0, you're moving on, and now you've got to play in another game with a different draft, with a different play style. It's got to be tough for Giants.
Yep. Despair, thy name is Oriana. Giants are still going to be able to grab themselves a turret, but they've got to contend with that snake up in the top lane. Knight's moving there, hustling himself to get in position. Still, Vitality making moves around the map, focusing on those objectives. We'll see how big a lead they can build for themselves. Last time, Giants were able to punish a couple of overextensions, and Vitality just weren't able to fight nearly as well as they thought.
I think, if anything, we're kind of learning from at least this game in comparison to the last two is that Giants with a slower scaling mid laner just don't look like the same team at all. They look exploitable by a team like Vitality, who can move into the mid lane. They catch Hustlin.
Speaking of moving right into the mid, it was pretty easy. Cabochard just came a little bit late to wave goodbye, and there's a Cloud Drake now 10 seconds away. Vitality could easily sweep that one up.
Oh, Cabo.
It's hard for Giants to really get involved. Hustlin has had a rough game himself.
Yeah, it has not been the most straightforward game for Hustlin. I mean, when you look at what Hustlin's been playing, obviously in the last game played the Karma, this time the Nami. Game 1, the Nautilus. That's where he looks really solid. On that signature Nautilus pick, maybe we can see him go back to that.
Well, and even if they lose this game, obviously Giants, they'd still have a third one to play out. There's still time for them to reset. But even with the disappointment, you have to honestly shake that off and come back into it. That's what separates good teams from bad teams in a lot of ways. And Giants right now, they're not exhibiting the willingness to fight that we saw out of them in both of the games we saw so far. Obviously, you're down a little bit of gold, but how much does the draft really dictate that, Stress?
I think the draft in this one's dictated quite a lot, specifically with Knight and how he's now playing a slower paced champion than an Ahri. I think it's difficult to kind of look at things and say, hey, you got to shake it off. Like, it happens. It happens, right? Like, I think at this level, we see teams with differing support staffs, right? Where we know teams like G2 have been very vocal about having, wellness coaches and that side of things. And we haven't heard Giants talk so much about that. We've not seen a glimpse into that side of the support staff. So I actually would be interested to know how shaking off that feeling actually goes when you were so crushingly far ahead.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring up. And Giants as an organization have not been, in all honesty, the most vocal about any of their plans. It's a team that has been in the LCS for a long time, but they've had a history of kind of almost alternating results. We talked about it, that they kind of come in and they end up right on the edge of promotion tournament, if not just outside of it, and then they end up making playoffs, usually to one and done status. But they've shifted their teams and their rosters quite a lot. And this is a team that is still trying to find an identity a couple years on in the LCS. Memento is going to throw the Bola strike out onto Steelback, but Joko was there for the defense. They've caught him in a Bola and a Rune prison, but Nuke Duck now is around the side. This is a hectic fight here. Knight's going to have to burn a couple of summoners. The wave comes in, Cabochard around for the flank, and now the TP's coming in for that Crocodile. What can Flaxish do? Nothing. He's exhausted, turns back onto Nuke Duck. This is a fight on multiple fronts. AOD hustling both low, but Nuke Duck gets Flaxish, and now Knight's on the portal. It's gone canceled, and he's got nowhere to go. Vitality get 2.
Vitality get 2. They have got this lead already, and Giants were stretching to try and get mid tower. You saw Memento pop the ultimate, trying to just put the fear in Vitality, but it didn't work. Vitality know that they had the lead. Vitality know that Giants right now are struggling. 0-4-0 for Knight. Nothing on the board for Hikyu on this Caitlyn. He's still too weak to fight, and that's the Baron going to Vitality. This is a complete turnaround from the last game.
Might be able to fight it once again.
Yeah.
Backed away, okay. Memento is still just sniffing that one out. But yeah, Vitality get themselves Baron on 5. Cabo stops his back, but it's only going to delay right now.
Yeah, it's only delaying. I mean, top lane was pushed out as well. That tower's already taken of the inner, so now Vitality are looking to just push through. They've got Shen with TP, Stand United. They got everything. Nuke Duck will clear out one side wave and come across, but look, Joko starts the fight. He looks way more comfortable on this Gragas. than he did in the last game. Of course, this game he didn't die at level 2, but Giants trying anything they can. AOD trying to fight with Hustle and everything. Here going in the way of Vitality. Taunt's Knight off portal, and Vitality just turned for the Baron, and at this point you have to look at it and say, okay, now Vitality are in the position where they've basically won this game. Like, they've got the Baron buff, they've got a split pusher, they should be able to take at least the inner towers and continue to force these fights. They've got Ashe, they've got Gragas, they've got all of these good tools.
The question now becomes, can they close it out? Can they keep themselves from, honestly getting got by this Renekton, by this Rengar? They've got the Baron buff on. Where are they going to spend it? It's Cabochard up in the top side. Safest push for him. Oh, you got to dodge. There was a death trap being set up. There's a clutch ward, though, by AOD. Vitality stacking bottom side. So are Giants. Now they're going to try to move around to the mid and force them back. Let's see if HiQ can hold here.
So yeah, HiQ set up a line of traps. The problem is, if that dive comes, somebody's coming around the back of that tower, and the traps won't stop that. For now, though, Giants are going to defend at the bot towers. Somebody has to address the fact that Cabo is pushing in a cannon wave. If Giants can actually engage here... Ooh, nope.
Spending 2 ultimates. Memento went through all the hunt. Hustlin sent the tidal wave out, but nobody's gone back for Cabochard here. Vitality are playing this out the pace they want. Memento is going to be able to get out of the Ashe Arrow, takes the Blast Cone Express, but now the tower's going down up top.
Yeah, they just go back to bot lane with the next wave of minions, give them the Baron buff, and push them into the tower. Giants committed 2 people to this fight, which means they're going to lose the inner tower. Shen will push the next wave up, and unless Giants respond in the bottom lane, Vitality are likely to push at least one of these inhibitor towers down. Now the traps come out. It's only 3 out of HiQ.
Still a minute left on this Baron buff, and they're going to be able to knock down the inhibitor tower. They're still sieging on this bottom, even though Giants are stacking strong. But it feels like damned if you do, damned if you don't here, Stress.
Full trap line out. This makes it very difficult for Vitality to push up. Ashe's range is barely to the bottom of those steps. So to actually step forward and attack that tower is near impossible for Vitality. You risk the engage coming from Giants onto a trap target. That's why Vitality have to move as soon as those traps are gone from mid. Now they move to the mid inner tower and push that one down. Everything's going Vitality's way. They want to go on Cabo.
Cabo's a little bit low here, but he's still pretty tanky. They knock down another turret. He buys time. He has Flash, he has Taunt available to him. Hustlin's taken low. In goes Memento, but there's no backup. He gets barreled and knocked away, and Steel back shoots an arrow right into the back of his head. That's going to be an inhibitor tower now, and a teleport in from Cabochard as he'd back to base. Vitality are looking to close this one out. Let's see if they can do it. Joko has got the Shen shield. He went from teleport to stand united, and that's exactly what Vitality are doing here. 2 members down, the wave's coming out, but it might be Giants that are waving goodbye to this game. A double kill for AOD, and Vitality are on the Giants base.
Yeah, Giants only have Hustle and Memento still down. This is going to be the game going over to Vitality. It's a significantly different remade game, and Vitality will even up the series.
1-1 will be the scoreboard. We'll be going to game number 3. Vitality, what a turnaround, and they will take victory.
It looked better for